Will now be recorded.
Any doubts from previous topics? So we are almost done with majority of the topics. We only have 1 week left in our training. For your information, you can go through the topics whatever discussed. If you have any questions, try to get it clarified, and the training will be completed by 7th of this month. So we are already aware of SAP ERP is a software product which is mainly useful for any business to run their business internal operations very effectively. And when they were using SAP ERP applications like Tata Motors is an example where the customer purchased SAP ERP from SAP company and they are using for their internal operations purpose. During the usage of SAP ERP software, there are few concerns they have raised by Tata Motors to SAP company regarding to the software SAP ERP. SAP ERP is a very well software which will do better things in the business when any company is using. But there are certain things needs to be improved according to the ongoing changes in the market current outside the market, which means Tata Motors customers previously they used to place orders via website, and later mobile technology coming up and then everyone is using, and competitors are coming with an apps, and through the apps they are placing the orders. And when the technology is changing, SAP ERP level also, the customers are expecting some changes. And then what are the changes? What are the main concerns by the companies when they approached SAP? What they have informed SAP, what needs to be changed in SAP ERP is the first thing is performance. Performance, most of the customers are reported, performance of SAP ERP is not good. Let's say there is a report. That report will get all the billing details about the customer which he placed an orders from a particular period of time, like 4 years. In the 4 years, what are the orders are placed? What is the billing details? If he wanted to know, they are using an SAP provided report, standard report, and this report they are executing with 4 years date range. When they are executing, it was taking nearly 15 minutes time to provide the results. That means why immediately they are not able to see the results. So obviously if you go to any website, Amazon or something, and when you click on it, when you click on the page, it has to load immediately, right? It has to load immediately and show the details. Otherwise what you feel like this server what it is located with Amazon is not good, and you will not interested to proceed with that kind of actions. If I wanted to see the today details, if I click on it, immediately it has to show. For when I interact with the screen, if it is taking as a response, giving me after that 15 minutes, how you will feel as a customer. The same thing they observed. SAP ERP is good, but sometimes it is not giving immediate response. The response from SAP ERP applications is very slow. That majorly they observed in the reports. During the reports, when the large amount of data they want, in that case, SAP's ERP application is giving very slow response and taking more time. That is not interested by the companies. And some certain cases like there is a order they are trying to place using ERP application VA01 transaction. They wanted to create the sales order. by using this transaction. And while creating, they are giving near to 450 items. 450 items means in the sales order, different parts like the manufacturing of a car requires so many spare parts. They are placing an order to a vendor by using sales order. In the sales order, they are giving 450 different parts, raw materials to manufacture the car. And at that moment also, to create the order after entering the details, when user Tata Motors employee click on save, it is taking more time, and the user who is creating an order, he has more number of orders to create. Then what is happening, because of the slowness, the orders which he has to create, which is getting delayed, and overall it is impacting the productivity in the organization. And when they go back to SAP, they are saying, okay, you are trying to create order with 450 items. Because of this more number of data, your application is taking time. So we have nothing to do in our end. You need to reduce your items and split your items into multiple orders so that your performance of the system will be improved. Most of the cases, from the companies who are using SAP ERP application, they are saying that performance is not good. Either in reports or the orders, sometimes it is taking more time to perform. That is what the major concern they have raised. And second concern is your SAP ERP software is unable to connect with the third-party application. Like Tata Motors is doing business with the distributors. Distributors are using a non-SAP application where Tata Motors is using SAP application. Now distributor wanted to place an order with the Tata Motors. Then how can they communicate from non-SAP to SAP? That is not exist in SAP ERP software product. The non-SAP users, they have to call Tata Motors sales team, and they have to inform them so and so order we have wanted to place. Then Tata Motors employees are placing an order on behalf of distributors. But that is not is required, because while they are calling, there are other distributors also wanted to place an order. Obviously, the person who wanted to place an urgent basis, he has to wait for some time. There is a delay, and sometimes network issues, unable to reach the person. Or if mail chains through orders are creating, then mail chains may be forget by the Tata Motors employees. All mails they cannot follow properly. Human mistakes also happen. Now the customers of Tata Motors, like distributors, are complaining. Why can't we place an order? Why every time we need to approach you? Is there no facility to place order from our side? Then when they go to SAP, they are saying SAP ERP is a software where internally you can utilize, but external people, if they want to use, it is not possible. Then the second thing, okay, connecting with the web application, third party applications, that is a big task for SAP ERP. That is not user friendly. We cannot externally connect our SAP ERP systems directly. And mobile developments, app developments, which will not support SAP ERP software product. Because of these main two reasons, performance, and it is not user friendly, not able to connect, and also upgrade. Obviously, more features are coming from SAP server, SAP company side when you are using SAP ERP. Like you have a mobile with Android 10. Android is the company, they are doing upgrades. Like they'll come up with more features, and they are asking the customers to upgrade to a better version, right? Same thing, like SAP also released SAP ERP and Tata Motors using, and later some days they are saying that okay, you are using SAP ERP 6. Now we have a version called 6.0. Use this version 6.5 something, so that there are few more features are there that will be very useful for your business. Then upgrade time from one version to another version, That is a big task for SAP ERP software customers. The change upgradation, which is another task for the Tata Motors. They have to stop the business, and when business is not running, or when the flow for the business is very slow, at that moment only they can do the upgrade. And also after upgrading, proper testing is required, whether all the previous applications are working or not. Obviously for Tata Motors is a big task, and it is like some other activity they have to perform when the business is very dull. And we may have few issues also after upgrade, that again causes impact to the business. So they don't wanted to disturb, and they wanted to upgrade. That is not possible with SAP ERP. And like this, SAP is receiving so many complaints from the customers what they are using SAP ERP. And obviously, if SAP is not addressing the complaints what they have received from the customers, they will lose the business opportunity, because SAP has competitors. Oracle, we have a main competitor, and Microsoft also there. Microsoft also into software products release of business related, and they are also in the market. Now, if Oracle says we are able to address your issues, we have a new software, then the customer who is using SAP ERP product, he will switch to a other vendor, Oracle, because the software what they are selling is a yearly basis. When next year, when they go for an upgrade, obviously the customer will ask, what about this issue? If you still is there, and Oracle is ready saying that all your issues are addressed if you use my software, then the customer will go to the Oracle or Microsoft. SAP will lose the business. Then what they have done, they have addressed all these issues by implementing new software, S4, and HANA is the database. And they come up and said to the customers, okay, all your issues are addressed, but you need to use a new software called S4, and HANA is the database for that software. Then again, the customer, okay, so and so year, I actually purchased your software from 2000 until 2024. I am doing business by using SAP ERP. Now, if I switch to S4 HANA, then all my business, whatever I have done in 2000 to 2014, 24, which will be work in S4 HANA system, then the answer is no. Whatever you have done in SAP ERP, that will not exactly in S4 HANA immediately if you switch. You need to upgrade, you need to migrate all your data to S4 application, because S4 architecture is different and SAP ERP architecture is different. In ERP, for a sales order, you are going to use VA01, sales order change VA02, VA03, like this. Different transactions and different tables are there. But in S4, it is a simplified version. There is a one table and one T code concept. You no need to use multiple T codes, multiple tables as like ERP, which means directly you cannot use S4 HANA when it is not like a switch. Immediately you cannot switch to SAP ERP to S4 HANA, because S4 is different. Then how can I use S4 HANA system? The suggestion from SAP is, first use only HANA database. Okay, so you have SAP ERP in the front end as you are using previously, but change database. SAP ERP will work previously with Oracle databases and Microsoft database. Previously, when software was released by SAP ERP, they are only supporting front end. Back end database is not there for SAP. And at that moment, in 2000 period, SAP is suggesting you go to the Oracle or Microsoft and purchase database. Then they are using their databases, and front end application is SAP provided. Now, when S4 and HANA was there, and they are suggesting to migrate to S4 HANA, and the question immediately switch is not possible. then what they have to do is use your front-end application as it is and first switch to your HANA database. Replace your Oracle to HANA first. Now, most of the clients are in this phase. SAP ERP is the front end and HANA is the database they are using. First, you need to switch all your data to HANA and then slowly migrate from SAP ERP front end from SAP ERP to S4 and back end is HANA. This is what the path they have suggested. Now, to support with SAP ERP application, ABAP language is sufficient. If you are have a knowledge on reports, interfaces, enhancements, and basic programming knowledge using ABAP, that is sufficient to support SAP ERP application. Now, when SAP ERP is the front end and HANA is the back end, then ABAPer has to learn HANA related coding. HANA related coding means what HANA makes the difference is, let's say SAP ERP is the software which runs R3 architecture, means we have presentation and application and database. This is the R3 architecture, which means in the presentation you will enter inputs. Let's say I'm wanted to create a sale order. To create the sale order, what I'll do, I'll provide a sales organization, distribution channel, division, or I'll enter customer to who I am going to create the order. If I enter customer number here, say K0001, and I'm clicking on save. When I click on save, I wanted to save this customer information and place a sales order against to this customer. Now, in the application layer, you will write a program with the ABAP programming language, and here you will create a data object, LV customer. Why you are creating data object? Because you wanted to first keep the entered value into your application layer. And then here the logic says there is a condition. All the customers information we are not going to create and create a sales order. The logic here is if the customer belongs to India, then only create a sale order. Then you will first get the input from the presentation and then you will implement a logic if customer country not equal to India, then you will create a BAP, call a BAPI or sales order create function module. You will use a function module to create the sales order. And for this sales order, you will pass customer details and remaining details so that sales order will be created. Once after this, database which is having tables VBAK, inside the table the customer what we entered, and for this customer a sale order will be created and that will be stored inside the database. Now your client is changing a database to HANA database. This is SAP ERP architecture where the database is either Oracle or MS SQL DB, Microsoft database. And then this is the way the architecture is designed and the work is going every day. Now this is switched from SAP ERP to HANA. When it is switched from SAP ERP to HANA, what happened is you have presentation and you have application and database combined. There is no one more architecture. So now you have two layers only. Your request, it will be going from presentation. And the response, like the program, what you have written and the conditions, what you have set and the data update, what you are doing, everything. This is happening inside the application layer only because application layer and database layer both are same. Now you can write all this code, everything into your database. One way it is a database, another way it is a application layer. Now you don't have two separate layers. In the same layer, all the operations like validations and storing information into the table, everything will be happen in one layer. The advantage of this is work performance will be improved, which means previously you are doing work with the three people. A first person will submit the request, second person will capture that request and then he will perform the validations, and third person he will do the data updates. But now one person activity was removed and only two person, you will submit the request and your request receiver will perform the data validations, and he will only create the order and he will only update the database. Now the performance of the system is very much improved. How it is improved is HANA is the database which is database created with the concept of in-memory technology, whereas Microsoft databases are not memory technologies. That is the main concept, which means HANA database, which is created in your in a simple manner. If you understood, let's say you have a laptop. Okay, your laptop is having a 250 GB capacity. Now your laptop can accommodate a storage of 250 GB. Let's say you have 500 GB data. Then what you will do? Either you will purchase a Google Cloud platform where you will purchase like 1 TB data storage, and inside that you will store your data. Or what you will do, you will purchase one external SSD where it is having 2 TB or 1 TB space, and this SSD you will connect with your laptop, and more data whatever you have inside your laptop you will store it in SSD, right? Which means you can assume your laptop is a SAP ERP and this has a capacity of 250, and for that reason you purchased Microsoft DB or Oracle database. When and you are moving your data from your SAP ERP to either Microsoft or Oracle DB because you don't have sufficient space. Now what happened? Your laptop, which is having more memory, now it is having 2 TB space. When your laptop is having 2 TB space, you will never use the third party applications. Directly in your laptop only, you are going to store your data, right? Now, SAP ERP is the software product which is using HANA. HANA, which is a memory kind of technology, which means it is given more memory to SAP ERP. You no need of any external databases. HANA is designed with a memory concept. Now, directly in the memory usage, HANA level itself, you can store your data. That is what the main advantage. Now, what I'm trying to say, SAP ERP is performance wise very slow. For that reason, SAP proposed to go for SAP S4 HANA, but customers are not immediately ready to switch to S4 HANA. It will cause many impacts on the business. Immediately they cannot switch. The suggested way is first change the database and run your applications by connecting SAP ERP and HANA, and first slowly you use our HANA database and then write your all the programs which is compatible with the HANA. So previous your programs is if you wanted to get the data, you are going to write a program, you are using select queries and then getting data into application server, and then you are performing validations, after that storing the data. But when HANA came, all the validations and get the data fetching and data storage, everything is happening at the application layer. Now work with ABAP and modify your existing applications with the HANA capability. If you have written a report, that report first getting the inputs, and in the application layer, first it is getting the data into application layer and it is performing validations, and finally it is doing data updates. That report you change it with the coding of HANA and get the data and implement the logic and store the data both at the application layer level. Now, ABAPer, who is writing the program, where he will write the program in SE38, right? So in SE38, whatever the program he written previously, that program he will go and change according to the HANA, so that a program will perform, will get the results very quickly. Now, majority of the customers who are using SAP ERP, what they are doing is they are implementing HANA side by side. This is a called side by side car mechanism, which means old software is there in the still, and they are using HANA as the database. Now, as a ABAPer, if HANA is using by the database as a company, if the customer is using HANA as the database only and front end is SAP ERP, what are the code changes we will observe in the application layer, in your coding way, that we will see. For this, we need HANA server. I don't know whether you people have access to HANA server. If you are not having, get it from the institute. I don't know the payment related this HANA server. So I am logging into HANA server. Previously, what the server we use is the SAP ERP, but now I am using HANA server. Let me log in into HANA system. If you go to here, system status, product details, installed product versions. So here you can see this is a S4 HANA. It's application also front end application. This is not ERP, but I just wanted to show you which is connected with HANA. And previous our application, this one, which is ERP, and it is using Microsoft database. System status. If business wants, there are two options. One thing is completely they'll switch to S4 and use HANA as the database. S4 means HANA only, it will come as a database. And this is not suggested to a company which is already there doing. Amar Reddy's smart forms not covered. We have discussed, right, on weekend smart forms. Okay, I'll talk to you later. So now, if you see here,
yeah, smart forms covered, sir. Adobe Forms not covered in this class.
Yes, I told you, right? We don't have Adobe Lifecycle Designer. I requested you to go through a video and website for Adobe Forms.
Oh, okay.
If any doubts, ask me. I'll explain you in a oral way. But technical explanation is not possible. We don't have that software.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. And yeah, so this is SAP ERP software product. Installed products. So this is SAP ERP, and SAP ERP by defaultly you can see server is Microsoft server, either Oracle server, because SAP they don't have a server at that moment. They are simply selling SAP ERP product, and for software, the customer who is purchasing SAP ERP, he has to go to Oracle or Microsoft to purchase Microsoft database. Database is different. Now, when you go to remote desktop, so here you can see which is S4 HANA. Entire application is S4 and inside S4 HANA is the database. But if in real-time projects, how it is, they have a SAP ERP only, but when we go into the system status, where we can see HANA is the database, plugin is HANA. That is what we observed in if a customer is using SAP ERP is the front end and back end is the HANA. So here we can see SAP ERP, but when you go to the database level where we can see HANA. Here, this is not the real-time project, right? So we cannot show you a database connected with SAP ERP. Okay. Now assume this is a SAP ERP only and HANA is the database. Now, if you can see here, database connected to this is HANA database. And now we will go to SE38 and see a difference between programs with ERP and S4. So this is the program. You can refer this program later. I'll send you the text document about this report. If you go to this report program, where you can see this program is developed to show you the difference, what is there in ERP and what needs to be changed when you are using HANA database as a ABAPer. What is the code has been changed. So now if you see, previously, if you wanted to get records from database, particular records, I wanted to fetch a particular records from the database where the database table is having more number of records. At that moment, what we are doing, we are creating our own data objects by using types keyword. Types through, we are going to create our own user-defined data type and what are the fields we need that we were giving. With respect to that user-defined data type, we were creating a internal table data object and work area data object if it is single record to store. And then we are writing our code. First, we are getting the data from the database to application layer. ITKNA1 is a internal table which fills with the data from database table. Now KNA1, which is there in the database level, and it is having the data permanently stored. What you are doing with select query, you are getting the data from the database and then moving your data into application layer, which means it is a three-tier architecture. First, you will be giving a input. Let's say there is a parameter or select options is there, then that is the input. And based on the input, you are getting the data into your application layer. Once you have the data into application layer, what you are doing, you are implementing some checks. When customer country is India and you are modifying record to Asia, and if it is US and modifying to EMEA. So what is this program of what you are doing here in this code is you are getting customer country and customer name information from the database. And once you have the data, based on the results, based on the country of the customer, you are creating one more field, region. This region field you are creating based on your inputs. For that, first you are getting the data, and once you have the data, based on the country of the customer, you are filling region information. So region is a extra field which is getting filled based on the results of the database. For that, what you are doing, first you are getting the data from database to application layer. And once you have the data in application layer, in the application layer, you are writing a code. First, you are getting the customer country. If the customer country is India, then you are creating one more column, region, says that that customer belongs to Asia. If the customer country is US, you are filling the region field saying as the customer belongs to EMEA. Now this is all the logic which what you are doing, which is in application layer. Where you are doing, it is in application layer. And then if you wanted to see whatever the application layer now your internal table is holding, you are using loop statement to get the data into application to presentation layer. I'll uncomment this. Let me get into change mode. First, let me uncomment. Now save check activate. Execute. Customer and country from where you are picking from the database. Once you have the data based on the customer country, you are filling one more record called region. For this is your requirement. You need to fetch the data from the database. Once you have the data based on the country, you need to fill one more column region and show it to me in the output. For this, what you are doing from the presentation layer, request is going, and the application layer, you are getting the data from the database to application layer. And third part, in the application layer, what you are doing, you will be implementing all these conditions because you need to fill one more column with the region information. And finally, you are using loop statement to display information, which means three layers are working, three people are working. One person is to get the inputs from the user, and second person is to go and get the data from the database. This is the second person where he is going and getting the data. And after getting the data, the second person, what he is doing, he was implementing logic. The logic here is we need to identify the customer country. Based on the customer country, fill one more record. That is the logic part. So application layer, this second person is doing some extra activity. And finally, the database layer, which is giving the data to our internal table. By once we have this data and we were able to display this information. Now this is an example for SAP ERP where you got a requirement to get the data and implement some logic and then display information together. Now the same requirement, if HANA is the database, when HANA is the database, how we can achieve this? What type of code we will return? That we will see in the bottom. For your better understanding to know, place a cursor on the logical part and then go into the debug and observe like what is the code, how it is going, okay, what it is getting, how region field is getting filled up. Just do a debug and then see what is happening. Now the same code as a ABAP, if I wanted to write the same, implement the same functionality by using HANA, then how I can going to write it? So this is the HANA code. I'm uncommenting. Now save, check, activate. Now execute. So I'll be getting the same result, customer, country, and region information. Here extra, I'll be able to see the fields also. That is okay, fine. But end result is I need customer country. Based on the customer country, I used to fill the region column. Now the same thing is achieved using the HANA also. But what is the difference here? The coding, what we have written is changed. In ERP application, first we need to create the data objects because data objects will hold the data at runtime. But here you no need to create the data objects in the application layer because the database and application is together. Directly you can create the data objects at the runtime, means in the application layer, while you are fetching the data itself, you can create, because both are in one place. Database and application both are in one memory area. Now what we are doing, we are getting data of customer and country from table KNA1, and then we are moving this data into internal table. We have used a escape operator followed by data keyword. It will create data object at runtime. Now here, what internal table has been created. What about the internal table type or structure? What we created in the top, that is not required. Automatically based on your selection, what fields you are selecting, and the same structure will be created at runtime and given to this your internal table. No need to create separately the data objects. And also conditions. Previously, first I read the data from the database. After getting the data, I'll do the manipulations on my internal table data, because the database is different, application layer is different. That's why first I received the data from the database, and second step is, once I have the data from my database, I have implemented my conditions because of the two different layers. In the database layer itself, I cannot do the manipulations because database layer is different, application layer is different. First, I fetch the data and then I implemented my manipulations on the application layer. But in HANA, database and application is same, only one layer. Now I am able to get the data, and manipulations are also implementing at the database layer only, because this is my application layer as well. Now what I am doing, I have used a case statement on field country, because I need to check when the country belongs to country India, I need to fill region field as Asia. If country is US, region is EMEA. So to achieve that, here application layer also in the same database layer, now I am writing case statement. Case is obviously checking the field value. Now, when the value is India, directly I am passing, then is a keyword which will assign value to my internal table new column and as regions. Then Asia, when US, then EMEA. Like this, I have implemented. And what is the extra field? Region. For which field I need to pass this then value is region. So you need to write whenever you use the then, you have to write and as followed by your field, extra field. Now what is happening here? System is getting the data at the same time. It is checking the condition when the country is India, then Asia, and as region. So a region is filled with the Asia when the country is India. Now I no need to declare the data objects. Data objects declaration is not required. This is not required. And second thing, the logic part, when country is India, and fill the details as region and modify your internal table, clear work area, all these are not required. Simply write the query and implement, check the conditions and pass your data to internal table. That's all. In one query itself, all your validations, data creation, everything is happening. Then obviously the performance of this compared with the above, which will far more better. That is what the advantage of SAP HANA system, HANA database. Now in this way, the code is changed wherever we have like internet. So this is understandable, I guess. If not, what you will do, just uncomment and then place a breakpoint here and then get into debug mode and then see what is happening inside. Just click on F5. Before clicking on F5, check ITKNA1. ITKNA1 is an internal table. How many fields are there? Kunar, land one, and region. How these three fields are coming? Because of data statement which will create a new data object. And here you are selecting Kunar, land one, name one, and as region, means two fields from the database and one field from the your program application layer. Now three fields, Punar land one are the first fields, end field is region. These three are created because of your query. And then checking here conditions when land one, India, when US, Asia, and directly the value from the database, it is segregating and filling to internal table. The segregation and then passing the data, everything is happening at the data fetch time itself. There is no separate layer where you can fetch the data and then look for the data. All automatically data fetch. During the data fetch itself, the conditions are being implemented directly based on the conditions what you have implemented, which is getting filled here. When the country is German, when the country is US, EMEA region, these are all the regions which is getting filled based on your whatever values you have set here. Now, what I'm saying to you, uncomment the ECC one and execute once, and first check how in ECC the code has been written. And same thing in the below one by commenting the above one and open the below one and then uncomment and execute and see what is the difference, so that you will understood where are the ABAPer he has to upgrade. Like this is an internal table and work area creation in ERP. If you wanted to create an internal table and work area, we used to write type table of for internal table, type for work area, and then we are getting the data into internal table. To display the data, we are using loop and end loop statement. And now this has been changed in S4. You no need to write these declarations directly by using select keyword. You can create your internal table, and once you have the data into internal table, you can, if you wanted to display, either you can use the standard SAP provided class methods. This is a class which is SAP created one, directly by using display data and pass your internal table, data will be displayed. Otherwise you can use your previously internal table work area concept. Now you can see here loop it followed by internal table to work area, but work area we haven't created. But you can create your work area directly at the runtime by using data keyword. Data keyword through you can create your work area. Like here you have used data keyword. Whenever you are writing select query, you need to use ampersand followed by data. And when you are creating work area, you no need to create ampersand. Directly you can use data keyword and get the data and display your information. And this is one more statement. So the same thing by using field symbols. Field symbols through, if you wanted to display information, how can I display the information? Assigning field symbol is a statement. By using this, we can create a field symbol. Like this, uncomment and then execute and see how in ERP the code is there and how in S4 the code is there. Like this, we have different examples written here. Every statement, wherever you have ERP, first check the code in ERP, how we have written. And second, we have S4 code, means HANA code. And the same code also uncomment and check what is the difference between the previous ERP version and now the HANA version, and so that you can understand. And sometimes you don't know, okay, there is a code, it's been written here, and you are unable to understood the code, whatever it is written. You need some help to understood. Like if you see construct operator using base and append operation. Yes. So now let's take this example. You are unable to identify what is this code, okay? Or you don't know what is this line. So select is straight away you are able to understand. Select means getting the data. But here, what is this data LR range value for sign option low? You are unable to understood this line. Then what you have to do, no need to wait for me, just copy this. And everybody knows we have a chat GPT, right? Nowadays, go to Chart GPT. This is the OpenAI AI. So here, Chart GPT, log in with Chart GPT.
Hold on. Bluetooth mode. Connected. Disconnected.
So here in the Chart GPT, if you have credentials, log in, and then if there is a code, you are unable to understand what is this line. You need some help by understanding the code. In that case, you can type here, explain below code snippet. By entering your code. This is not, copy paste is not possible. Let me log in here itself. Use the AA options wherever if you need any help. Explain below code snippet. Let me first add this into a notepad. Explain below code snippet and remove these comments and copy this. Now enter it here and paste. Now you can see explanation from the AI saying that data LR range. This is a declare variable of type RS cell underscore T. Whatever value followed by this one. The result type is likely a table type. LR range will become a table that holds range of values. And value is a keyword which is used to construct value for the type what we have used. It allows you to instantiate and populate an internal table or a structure in ABAP. By using this value, we can create a structure and a table. Now LR range is a table. By using value operator, we are creating a table. And this for sign option for is a keyword. This is an ABAP constructor. It's a looping keyword which is used to fill the work area with the values. Now for acts like a work area. It will fill sign option low values to LR range table so that LR range is an internal table. Finally, it has sign option low as fields and it has sign as I, option as equal to and low as document type information, which is coming from internal table IT underscore TVAR. First, go through the details, whatever it is suggesting, and you may have a basic idea, at least by reading this document, provided help. After that, run this program, whatever we have right in system, run this program and then see what data which is coming into this table and correlate with your explanation so that it will be understandable. It is not a big task. Okay, so what I am suggesting you to go through this program, uncomment one by one line and execute once and see the difference of SAP ERP and S4 HANA, HANA coding, and then observe what are the areas where the coding was changed and some of the places you are unable to understood. In that case, you can use this chat GPT, the code, whatever you are unable to understand, and then ask for explanation, it will provide you. And still, if you are unable to understand few of the lines, what it is being written, you need an explanation, let me know. But first thing is you need to do this activity on your own. And HANA a code like we have for operator, value operator, these are all new things which are coming. In HANA, every day, like new syntaxes are coming. If you wanted to know the latest releases by SAP and utilize this, search for HANA latest syntax. You will get lot of threads for 7.4 new syntax, 7.4 edition. What are the syntaxes are there? It will be obviously give you. So this is a task for existing ABAPers who is working from 10 years also, because every day or every 2-3 months latest code snippets are coming. For us also, we will go through by the Google or some other help. We will get to know, okay, what are the new keywords are coming? What is the use of these new keywords? And then we will use it in our day-to-day projects. Okay. It is not like there in so long. It is coming from the SAP side latest. When they are released, they are providing the documentation as well. Or else, if already someone used the new syntaxes, they are giving with an explanation in the community website so that other developers may know and use it whenever they got certain kind of requirement. And most probably, if your application is HANA, then for any ABAPer, there is a code review will be there in their real-time projects, which means you have written your code and then before moving to other system, your lead or there is some set of people are there, they will review your code. When they are reviewing your code and they observed you have used an outdated syntax. Outdated syntax means which works fine, but this is written in ERP application where HANA is using. You no need to create a data types and you no need to write your data to application and then implement this logic. Then what they'll do, okay, this is a outdated syntax, use latest syntaxes. Then if you are unable to identify what are the latest syntax, either you have to go through the website and then see how can we leverage the code, or you can go to the chat GPT and then type, okay, I have written a select query and this select query has to be turned to a new SAP ABAP syntaxes. Then you need to write your comments so that system will, prompts is important. When you are working with chat GPT, prompts are important. So you need to give proper prompts so that system will give you the result. If you are unable to get the prompts, either Google search, how can you ask a question like I'm reading this, I don't wanted to understand, okay, I'm getting some error. Then you can use the prompt, read below code snippet using the latest ABAP syntaxes and with error handling, so that it will provide. Or there is a code is written and your team is saying this is a outdated code, whatever you have written, use it with a ABAP new code. Then you can ask OpenAI says, rewrite the SAP ABAP code snippet below using ABAP new syntax. Then what ChatGPT does, it will write a code with the latest ABAP code. So if I paste here, I'm asking rewrite the below ABAP code. I got a response from my team lead saying that this is written with the ERP version. This is not the latest code. We are using HANA as the database. You need to use new ABAP syntaxes, but I don't know what are the new ABAP syntaxes. How can I change? Use the open chat GPT and type your question so that your code will be modified and given as per the latest syntax. And then just copy and use it in your existing code, and clear explanation also given. Okay, why this code is been written like this? What is the use of data, and how the code is implemented? Everything will be given properly. In this way, you need to brush your ABAP code and then switch to new version of the code. Only thing is a code is being changed. Okay, entire architecture will be changed, and for ABAPer has to focus on the code. Only you need to focus on the code area where previously how we are returning applications, and now what are the new syntaxes are coming and how to use those syntaxes. That is what the matter for ABAPer. So go through this program and run this program, and then see how you are able to understand or not. If not, just as I given options, right? Try these options. If not have the clarity, let me know so that I'll tell you where and all you are able to unable to understand. Okay, I will be stopping with this today. So far, any doubts?
Hello, sir. I have one requirement in my project. I know the TR number. So, how to find batch or job name based on this TR number, sir?
Batch job name.
Yeah.
Batch job will be created using a program, right?
Uh,
So
yeah.
there will be a program in batch job. So that program will be captured into your TR. So first go and check in that TR what is the program you have, and then go to SM37, and there you have an option, check the job using the program. So where enter program and execute, so that you will get which is the job created for that program.
Okay, here program means report or class
Report.
and function group lot of
Report.
okay. Okay, only report execute batch will execute through report in SAP.
Batch jobs are created only for reports.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, then see you in next class. Bye.